Right. I think we're live. I hope we're live. How's everybody doing? I just have one issue that I need to fix. This is old enemy of mine, and that is that the chat is not actually showing. So say hi down below. Let me know where you're from. Let me just see if I can get this chat sorted out. Oh, by the way, if anybody knows how to enable chat on OBS Studio, please let me know. All right. Following these guidelines from ChatGTP. Let's see if we can get this done. Alrighty. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody to the live stream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the chat on my phone in the meantime. And basically what we're doing today is I get to hang out with you guys. There is no agenda whatsoever. I literally just want to chill with you guys for a bit and talk about Google Ads. So you guys can ask me whatever questions you have. If there's something that's bothering you about your ads, if you feel like your ads aren't working, if your leads are expensive, whatever it is, let me know. All right, so let me do this. Go into the live stream on my phone. And okay, at least that way I get to see the chat. Alrighty. Yeah, so let me just get you up to date with what's been happening on my side, right? Because there's a lot of interesting stuff that's been happening on my side. I've had one of the most interesting years ever. I moved to Cape Town in December. And it's really been an adventure. It's been an adventure with my business. I've been under a lot of financial pressure because here the rent is more expensive and it's just a different city. So it's just everything is different and everything is new and everything is fun. Like we went on safari. I went whale watching. I went on a steam train up a mountain. I saw a submarine. I saw the inside of a submarine. So we've done so many things, but this is all part of growing as a business owner and growing as a person. And so what I want to hear from you guys is I want to hear what you guys have been up to. What are the questions you have for me? Where you're from? Ask me anything down below in the chat. Don't be shy. I see there are a couple of people watching and we're going to talk about Google Ads. If you want to see account data, if you want me to walk you through something, you can literally ask me about anything. All right. And while I wait for those messages to come through in the chat, I am just going to make sure that I sort out this live stream and sort out this control room. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. There should be some sort of control room that I can go into. Show live chat replay. Okay, how do I actually go in and see my chat? It's going to be very weird if we have a live stream that's a Q&A and I can't see my chat. But anyway, while I am getting that ready over here, let's see. Analytics, monetizations, details. Yeah, where is this command center? Customize. Maybe it's in customize. You know what? I actually had a better idea. This is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to open a second screen up and then I am just going to put YouTube on the second screen. And that way I get to follow along with your comments. So welcome. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what you want to ask. And yeah, it's all good. Guys, don't be shy. The chat is right there. Use it. Yeah, all right. Anyway, so while we're waiting for those chats to come through, what I want to do is I want to tell you a little bit about Google Ads and let's talk a little bit about what's working. I've seen a lot of people struggle with traditional search campaigns. So it does look like search campaigns are being, I want to say, nerfed by Google. Personally, In my own ads, I don't see that, but in all my students' ads, I see that search ad performance is just getting worse and worse, and it's also getting a lot more expensive. Now, there's a couple of reasons why ads are getting more expensive in general, and that's because I think a lot of people have started running Google ads that weren't running Google ads in any of the previous years. So I think there's a lot more pressure on the advertiser, and there's a lot more competition around, and what that does is it drives up the prices. But one thing that I've also noticed is it doesn't even matter how much competition there is. When you look at what Google is doing themselves, they are also artificially inflating your cost per clicks on your ads. So you might have noticed this phenomenon where you ran the same ad account in 2022, 2023, 2024, and it's going up every single year. You're not doing anything different, but your ad costs are going up. You might have also noticed that your performance, your actual conversions, the amount of people that come from your ads, that's actually starting to drop. Or you might have just noticed that it's not as reliable as it used to be. And there's a couple of reasons why this is happening. Number one, we've seen that a lot more people are not completing searches. So this is a new phenomenon, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find that article. I think it's... bring this up for you guys. This is really, really fascinating. And hey, if you're here, just let me know. Live chat. There's the live chat. Let me know where you're from. And cool. And this is wild. This is absolutely wild. So check this out, guys. Let me see if I can share my screen. There we go. Nearly 60% of searches end without a click in 2024. Isn't that crazy? So what this tells me when I'm looking at the stat over here, and for me, this is the most interesting thing that I've discovered this year, is how it used to work. Let me just take myself off there. How it used to work was people used to trust, they used to trust the Google ad search results. They used to trust what they see. And it seems like that's just not what's happening anymore. And I had this chat with another one of my clients. He does medical software. He's building a medical software app. And what we've noticed is there's a lot of people who are searching for him. They click on his ads, but they don't convert. And when we look at the searches, most of the searches are for his competitors. So I think what a lot of people are doing is they're kind of searching around. They find a company they really like, and then they go onto social media. They go and they verify that this is actually a good company to work with. They go and check Reddit. They basically do their research, and then they come back and then they convert. So what this tells me is running ads the way we used to run ads, it's gonna slowly but surely get less and less effective, because of these new patterns that are emerging. And obviously ChatGPT and all these AI overviews also have a lot to do with it. So we see there's one chat over here, or there's one comment over here. It says, I'm from Pretoria, sitting in traffic in the rain, coming home from 4 ways. Anyway, starting an online store company and building my website. The company building my website wants to charge 10K, and I'm assuming that's South African rands, for running Google ads. Yep, Miriam, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal. If you're not gonna run ads yourself, most companies in South Africa will charge between 10 to 18,000 rand. So it's actually on the low side of what companies are charging. But I want you to do these couple of things. If you're not sure that these are the right types of guys for you, what I want you to do is I want you to dive into their history, and I want you to look for screenshots, and I'll show you exactly what I want you to look for. Miriam, just give me a second. Let me get this up. I'll show you exactly what you're looking for to see if they're worth the money or not. So I am just going to share my screen over here. Please, if you're driving, watch the replay later. but I think you'll all find this informative. Okay, so whenever somebody shares their screenshots, number one, ask yourself, are they actually sharing account data or are they just sharing wording? Because what a lot of these companies do is they just say, we achieved this result for such and such company, we achieved this result for such and such company. But if you can't actually see the proof, right? If you can't actually see the proof of what they're doing, you are basically going to, you're going to hire the wrong company. So the first thing we want to look for is we want to look that they're actually posting screenshots of what they've achieved inside the account, right? Not just, oh, we worked with so-and-so and we made them a whole bunch of money. You actually want to look for screenshots, okay? The second thing that you want to do, and we've got it here with Ivan's store, is you can actually see if they've worked with e-commerce stores before, and you can actually ask them for screenshots with actual proof of how much money they've made for those stores. So for example, this is one of my clients, Ivan. It's a pretty old case study, but you can see over here that he was spending $248, which is about 4,000 Rand, and he was not making any money. And so we sat together for 6 weeks. I showed him how to run his own Google ads. And after that, he was spending about 6,000 Rand every single week, and he was making back I think that it's about 40,000 Rand a week on his online store. And he does fitness and he does a whole bunch of core products, and this is an e-commerce store as well. So the one thing that I want to say to you is 10,000 Rand a month, that's pretty normal. It's a pretty normal amount for somebody to be charging. But you just have to make sure that the company who's running your ads is really a company that you want to work with and that they can actually help you get better results. Another thing that you can do is you can learn to run your own ads. I think in the long run, it's actually going to help you if you know how to run your own ads. And I'll explain why. When I started off dealing with a lot of business owners, they did not know how to run ads. And so what happens is they try an agency out, they lose 30,000, 40,000 Rand or $15,000 or $20,000. They lose money on that agency, and then they have to go and look for another agency, spend money with that agency. And only after 2 years of hiring a whole bunch of agencies do they actually realize, you know what, I would have saved so much money if I had learned Google Ads by myself. And this is not to say that you're going to be running your own ads, but even if you know how Google Ads works and you have a fundamental knowledge, when that agency starts talking crap and when you start wondering if you're dealing with the right people, if you know how Google Ads works, they can't fool you. They can't tell you, oh, Miriam, by the way, your ads are expensive, but that's because there's competition in the market. You'll just know. You'll be able to go into the reports and you'll be able to see, okay, this is how it works. This is what my results were. And then you can really ask them about the important stuff. Whereas when you don't know about Google Ads, they'll just tell you, oh, we spent 100,000 Rand and you only got 3 sales. And you'll be like, okay. And then they'll be like, okay, now just pay us every single month again, and then we'll just keep on spending more of your money. So yeah, it's one of those situations, but it's a perfectly normal price. It's actually low for what most companies charge. Also, the one piece of advice I'll give you as well is, Miriam, if your online store is not making any money right now, I mean, if you're making less than 3,000 Rand per month from your online store, then it might not be worth it to hire an agency at all. I always believe that you hire an agency when there's money or there's some cash flow. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you hire an agency when there's at least some cash flowing into the business. That way you're not losing your mind every single month when you have to pay that agency. So just keep that in mind as well. And I hope that answers your question. Now, for those of you who are watching, or you're watching the live stream replay, I want to let you know that if you're a business owner and you want to learn Google Ads, maybe like Miriam, we've got a very nice special coming up for you guys. We've got a Black Friday. Man, I don't think we've ever had a product lineup as good as we're doing on this Black Friday. Now, I can't give you all the details, but I am going to tell you this. If you are a business owner and you are looking for local leads, I've got a banger of a product for you. If you are a freelancer and you're sick and tired of being underpaid and you really want to start getting a lot more from your Google Ads clients, I've got a banger product for you. If you're a business owner like Miriam and you just don't know where to start and you just want to understand the basics so you can just get your ad up and running and start making some money in your business and you'll figure out the rest later, I have got a banger product for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite all of you to just click on the link down below. There's a link down below in the video. It's my Black Friday early bird list. And man, when I tell you I am super excited for this Black Friday, man, we've got some really good stuff there. So link is down below. And yeah, just sign up. By the way, if you're new, tell me where you're from, tell me what country you're in right now, and ask me whatever question you want to ask down in the chat. You don't have to be shy. I don't bite. Let me just make sure there aren't any more messages in the chat because I just seem to not be getting anything. Okay. Righty. Okay. Where are my comments? Show chat. Cool. And Miriam, if you want to ask any follow-up questions, you're more than welcome to do that as well. Okay. Guys, I'm still struggling with this chat window, would you believe? Let's see if we can get it out here. All right, cool. What I'm going to do is I've come up with a sort of somewhat solution. It's good enough for now. At least I can see the chat like on my main window, and that way I don't miss any of your questions. But yeah, and I must also say this. If you guys haven't seen me live streaming for some time and you're wondering, Devin, what's happening? Why aren't you live streaming anymore? Man, number one, I've been grinding in my business. It's been so hard for the past few months because I've been doing everything. I've been designing landing pages, working on Google Ads, doing conversion tracking, still busy with my community and my students in my course. We got a couple of new clients, so they needed help and support as well. So my business is growing. Thank God. I've got a lot of people who are buying our products. I got a lot of people who are signing up. But the one mistake that I'm making in business right now is I'm trying to do everything by myself. And so what I learned, hey Namzul, thank you so much, or Nazmul, thank you so much for joining us. If you're brand new and you're learning Google Ads, you can ask whatever you want down in the chat. So as I said before, I've really stretched myself very thin. So what I decided to do was I've decided to hire a couple of people. Number one, I hired a thumbnail designer for my YouTube channel because I don't need to be designing all my own thumbnails. So also give me your feedback on the thumbnails as well. If you like the new styles, if you don't like the new styles, if you want us to go back to the old style, let me know as well. The second person that I hired was also another Google Ads expert. And she's going to help me with some behind the scenes stuff. And that way I get to spend more time doing this type of stuff. So the reason why I'm doing the live stream today, right, is because I actually have some free time. I actually have 1 hour of free time on my hands that I can actually say, hey, I just want to pop into my YouTube channel and say hi to everyone. So that's why I'm doing this live stream now. All right. And also to let you guys know about the amazing Black Friday stuff that we've got coming up for you guys. All right, cool. So Miriam, I take it that we answered your question. Like I said, you can always go back and watch the replay. Does anybody else have any Google Ads related questions, budget related questions, anything whatsoever? All right, so Nazmul says, I'm from Bangladesh. I have a question for new Google Ads campaign. How to decide the ads daily budget? That's a good question. Nazmul, I'm going to ask one question. What is the thing that you're advertising and what country is it in? Is it somebody who's a dentist in USA? Is it somebody who's a lawyer in London? Like, you have to give me a little bit more specifics so I can help you understand what the daily budget is. All right, so just give me that information. Anybody else? Any other questions? I'm here for you guys. Today is all about you. Like, I could go and I could start talking about every single thing that's happening in my life, and I gladly will. But I more want to hear from you guys. All right, Queensland Tiger. Hi there, Devin. Am I on the right? I'm right in the middle of a tropical storm. Oh my gosh. John, are you okay? There's lots of rain here in Thailand. So can someone tell YouTube when and where to show their ads? Yes, you can. You can actually do automatic YouTube ad placements. Let me see if I can find an example of this on my YouTube channel. It's a Google Ads live stream, but I know, John, you always ask me about YouTube stuff. So yeah. All right. So going back to Nazmul's question over here. You say, I know it's different CPC dependent on different business. I'm glad you said that. So if it's different CPC dependent on different business, that means the budget is going to be different. And I'll show you an example of that, Nazmul. Let me just log into my Google Ads account and I'll show you a perfect example of how bad this can be. How expensive a click can be for something just because of a country and just because of where you're running the ads. So I'll show you. So to answer your question straightforwardly, it depends. You can start off with $10 per day, but if you're advertising in a first world country, you might not be able to advertise with $10 per day, okay? But I'll share my screen over here and we'll look at some live examples for you. All right, so screen share over here. Now I want you to see this. If I go to tools, okay? And if I go to planning, I'm gonna go to keyword planner. When I go to keyword planner, I'm gonna click on discover new keywords. And now I'll show you this. If I'm looking for, we'll just do personal injury lawyer, okay? In South Africa, I want you to see what my cost per click is going to be, okay? So as you can see over here, personal injury lawyer in South Africa, 320 searches per month, 58 cents to $4. So if you're a personal injury lawyer and you're in South Africa, my recommended daily budget for you could be $20 a day, $30 a day, perfectly fine. You will get clicks, you will get clients. Now we're gonna take the same keyword, okay, same business, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the cost if this was in USA. So the same exact company, but now we're switching over to USA. Now when I switch over to USA, 301,000 searches, look at how much the clicks are costing. $50 just for one click, not for the client, just for one click. Or it could be as expensive as $280 per click. So now, instead of spending $20 per day, if you're in South Africa and you're a personal injury lawyer, now you have to spend $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 per day because you're in a different country. Same business, just different country. And this is why, Nazmul, you need to give me more details. I can only help you if you give me proper details. So yeah, that's it. All right, going on to John's question. John, I am just gonna click on this video. It's my latest video. Go check it out if you're struggling with YouTube views. I think monetization. And I think there's a part where you can say manage ad slots. And you can literally decide where your ad slots go. So if I click on here, insert ad slot, I can decide at what minute mark my ad slot should be on my YouTube videos. All right, so that's basically where you go. All right, and watch this replay if you can't find that information. All right, cool. Thank you so much for the questions so far, guys. Keep them coming in. Let me know where you're from. Ask me any questions about Google Ads. Ask me any questions about budgets. Let's talk about leads. Let's talk about any single thing that you want. And also, Don't forget to sign up for our Black Friday early bird list. We have got some amazing Black Friday specials. I have got it down in the first link below. Let me know if you want me to drop it in the chat as well. But guys, when I tell you it's going to be good, it's going to be good. And when you sign up for the early bird, you get a free gift anyway. So there's no downside. Even if you sign up, you don't end up taking anything for Black Friday, you still get that free gift. So it's still worth it to sign up. I wish I had a link to it. I don't. Just click on the link below this video. All right, cool. Any other questions? Looking at the chat over here. John, I hope that answered your question. John, could you give me a little bit more detail? Okay, so John says here, I mean, can you choose the topic of the video that the person is watching at the time? Okay, let me just take a step back and read your question again. Hi there, Devon. I'm right in the middle of a tropical storm, lots of rain. So can someone tell YouTube when and where to show their ads? I mean, can you choose the topic of the video that the person is watching at the time? I'm not sure I follow, John. I'm not sure I follow with that. Anybody in the chat care to elaborate? Or maybe John, if you don't care to elaborate, if you care to elaborate, because yeah, I'm not following. I'm not sure I'm really following along with that. All right. Any other questions regarding Google Ads? Google Ads, Google Ads. Guys, I started a new Google ad campaign. Do you want to see? I'll show you this. I'll show you something, a cool trick that I learned while I was doing another video. So what I'm going to do is I am going to share my screen over here. Check this out. Google Ads over here, high converting masterclass. You see here it says conversion tracking is broken. All you need to do is go to campaign settings. And then all you need to do is change your bidding strategy. So give me a second. Let me go here. Bidding strategy, campaign go. Where's my bidding strategies? There we go. Campaign go. Swap it to clicks. Say save all changes. And check this out. Voila. Conversion tracking is no longer broken. Yeah, I just figured that out. But anyway, you need conversion tracking. You should be focusing on conversions. I just thought that was a cool little trick. But anyway, all right, back to the questions. Okay, so Queensland Tiger is saying over here, I want somebody who is watching a Matt's video then to see my ad. Yeah, that's pretty normal, John. If you had an ad, we can place that ad. If you had a YouTube ad, we can choose which YouTube videos to show your ads on. So I'll give you an example of this. So let's say, for example, you go onto YouTube, okay? I'm just gonna use my main YouTube view over here. So let's say search party, right? You see that search party? Let's say I only wanna show my ads on this YouTube channel over here. You can do that in Google Ads. So you can make sure that your YouTube channels only show on this channel. You can find anything Matt's related and you can make sure that you show it only on the Matt's related YouTube channels. You can also show ads to anybody who's watching your YouTube video at the time. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to show my YouTube ads to only people that watch my YouTube videos, I can do that too. And I'll show you an example of this. So going back to screen share over here, and I am going to go here all the way down to audiences, and I'll make sure that my audiences are selected. I'm going to say edit audience, go in here. And once you do that, do you see there's something over here? I'll get rid of this. People who have previously interacted with your business. So what you can do is click on here. You can go browse and you can say you want to target only website visitors, or you can say you want to target people who viewed your YouTube channel. Now here's where it gets super cool. And I hope I don't mess up my targeting over here. You can also target people who view certain YouTube channels. So let's see over here if I can just get it right. Affinity in market. I know somewhere over here, I'm not going to waste time. There we go. Content segments, new segment. Yeah, you can basically get somebody who's been on a particular website. There's also one of these settings that allows you to target people based on the YouTube channels that they're watching as well. Super helpful as well. So yeah, but John, you're part of my feedback circle. You're part of my Google Ads community. So come on a live coaching call, show me your ads, and I'll show you exactly how to do what you're trying to do. You don't need to be on a YouTube live stream. You've got inside access, man. You're inside the feedback circle. So come through on Tuesday and just show me what you're trying to do, and we'll gladly do it together, or book a call with me and we'll do it that way. All right. And I hope everything is okay. I hope you're okay during the storm as well, my friend. All right. With that being said, I think I am going to close my phone because I got too many screens open over here. All right. So, okay, but I think I should make a YouTube ad. Yep, Queensland Tiger, I think you should make a YouTube ad as well. All right, now, Nazmul, how can I get my very first Google Ads client? I searched the keyword dentist in Miami. I found some ads showing in Bangladesh. Can I offer them free friendly help? That's a trick that I applied. Tell me some trick which can help me get my very first Google Ads client. Nazmul, I love that question. I absolutely love that question. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this video over here. We're going to talk about some topics, but if you want to see me dive deep into how you can get more clients, yeah, you're really going to enjoy this. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen again. Do you see this video over here that says how to start making money with Google Ads? This is the video you need to watch. I literally break down every single thing that you need to do if you're a freelancer with no experience. The first thing I'm going to tell you to do is do not directly email companies and tell them they are not running their ads properly. You are not going to get responses, or if you do get responses, people are going to be offended, right? Imagine if people were dancing on a dance floor and you went up to somebody who wasn't dancing properly and you said to him, hey, hello, excuse me, hi, I want to teach you how to dance properly. How do you think that person is going to feel in that moment? Do you think they're going to feel grateful? No, they're going to feel pretty embarrassed. So I get these emails all the time from people telling me, hey, I'll redesign your thumbnails and I'll edit your videos. I don't know you. Why would I trust you? Why would I give you money if I don't know you? So the key is we need to meet the clients where they are. So number one, this is what you're going to do. This works. I promise you this works. Go on to Reddit, find somebody with a problem who's asking for help. So somebody will say something like, my conversion tracking is broken. My ads are not getting clicks or impressions, or I'm spending money on Google Ads and not getting results. Then what you want to do is you want to write them a thoughtful response with the answer to their question. Say, hi, Mr. Bennett. I'm so sorry to hear that your YouTube ads are not showing. I want you to follow these steps. Do number 1, do number 2, and do number 3, and see if you can get the ad to work. If this hasn't happened within 24 hours, reach out to me and I'll gladly help you fix your ads problem. And once the customer sees that you're a genuine person, that you're not just after money, and they sit with you, and now you're explaining the problem, they're going to say, Nazmul, you know a lot about Google Ads. How much do you charge? And then you'll be like, sir, I charge $100 per hour, $200 per hour. And then they'll say, okay, I want you to run our ads because it seems like you know a lot more about this than I do. And that's how you win over clients, okay? That's one way to do it. Second way to do it is go on Upwork and go look for people who actually have problems and are willing to hire people. A lot of people don't like Upwork because you have to pay the connects to get the job. But I say, pay the money, get the clients, and then let the clients pay you back over time. As long as you're charging good money, you should not have a problem. The third way to do it is to start posting content, but I know a lot of people are scared to show their face on camera. So if you're not going to show your face on camera, don't bother with content, because you're not going to get any clients, it's not going to work as fast as if you showed your face on camera. That's how I got my first clients. I literally looked for people who already knew they have a problem. But don't just cold email clients. You're going to email 100 businesses. You probably won't hear back from any of them. Maybe one of them will reply. It's just not worth it. Hope that helps. Any other Google Ads related question? Oh, by the way, Nazmul, sign up for the early bird Black Friday. There is a banger product coming on I think it's the 27th. Because what we do is for Black Friday, we have like the special Black Friday week where we have a product every single day, like one on Monday, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, one on Friday, and it's only available on that specific day. It's only available for 24 hours. And that's why I want you on the list, because there is one product there where we literally show you what to do if you're a freelancer and you're looking for clients. That's the program that I think you'd be very interested in. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a call during a live stream. How embarrassing. Yeah. Anyway, any other questions? Just message this guy and tell him I'm streaming. Anyway, cool. Any other questions? Okay, so Nazmul says, yeah, thanks for your suggestion. Yeah, definitely. And Nazmul, you have to remember something. If you don't have any experience with Google Ads, it's very hard for somebody to hire you and pay you money because you don't have the results yet. But what you should do is you should help people do small jobs. Don't go to companies and say, I want to run your Google Ads. I want to do everything. I want to make you a lot of money. They're not going to trust you. You don't have the track record for that. Go and help people fix their conversion tracking. Go and help people set up a Performance Max ad. Go and help people do remarketing. Do those small jobs that might not pay well. And once you build trust, then you can say, okay, now I've got all of these people that I've helped with the small jobs. Those people will come and say, Nazmul, we like what you did with the small job. We're going to give you a medium-sized job. Then you do that job well. And eventually they'll say, okay, we see that you're a good guy. We see that you're reliable. Here's our ad account. Here's $800 a month. Run our ads for us. But it's not going to happen overnight. You're not just going to start off, say, hey, I'm here, and they're just going to shower you with money. I wish it was that easy. I would be a billionaire already. But I had to build this YouTube channel for 6-7 years to get to the stage now where I can say to somebody, okay, if you want me to sort out your ads, I charge $350 per hour, and these are my results, and these are my clients. So it takes time. All right? But good question. I like that question. And like I said, sign up below. All right. I don't see any other questions. Does anybody else have anything Google Ads related that you want to ask? At all. Feel free to ask. Anything to do with Google Ads. Could be your daily budget. Could be your ads not working. Could be your ads working very well. And guys, we're also going to start this tradition where you start sharing good news. So maybe you started your first ad campaign and things are going well. Share the news with us. Tell us what you did. Tell us what your metrics are if you're willing to share. I'm here to learn as well. So you're more than welcome to share. I'm so happy I have this little chat window here. It's not the best, but it's good enough. It is good enough. It also shows over here that I can do a members only live stream, which I find pretty cool. Yeah. All right, cool. Any other questions whatsoever about Google Ads? Let me know. Let me see if I can find that YouTube stuff for John while we still got time. Browse, detailed demographics, exclusions, lookalike segments. I promise you it's here somewhere. But yeah, we need to go and look at some YouTube channels, but yeah, definitely. All right. Is products and services different charges on Google Ads? Miriam, you're gonna have to give me a little bit more context. Do you mean does Google Ads charge you a different price when you're selling a product versus you selling a service? Or do you mean do agencies charge you differently if you're selling a product versus you're selling a service? Just let me know. Are you talking about Google Ads charging you money per click, or are you talking about agencies and what they charge for products and services? This is a lot of fun. If you're wondering what I'm eating, apparently there's this health mix that they sell at the nut store, and it's really good. It is super good. And I'm also drinking chai tea, for those of you who want to see. So yeah, I'm very healthy today, although I just had like Russian and chips. Oh yeah, I forgot, I'm on an international live stream. When I say Russian and chips, it's a sausage. Think like a sausage. And chips, potato chips. Not the kind that you eat out the bag, the fried. Food is very confusing. The ones you fry in the pan. All right. Okay, cool. Queensland Tiger. Okay. Is a YouTube ad more effective than a Google ad, or is it really all the same? Because YouTube links appear on Google too. All right, John, that's a great question. Let me come back to that. Let me answer Miriam first. All right, so your Google CPC on a product is always going to be cheaper than on a service. I can only think about a handful of times, but your Google CPC needs to be set up properly. So you need a Google Ads account, a Google Analytics account, a Merchant Center account. Very important. Then you have to set up your products on the Merchant Center feed. I'll show you an example of this. Okay. So this is nice. I can actually show Miriam a live example of this. Okay, cool. So let's say I am looking for a queen-sized mattress. Or queen side, let's go mattress, okay? I want you to see what happens. When I say, oh my gosh, because I have one of the clients and he's selling mattress. Okay, different example. Let's say I'm looking for a lamp. There we go. I'm looking for a lamp for my bedroom. There we go. So annoying. Now I want you to see something over here. We've got these ads that run across the screen. These ones, the clicks on them is pretty cheap. You can get really affordable clicks on these and they work. What a lot of people do, Miriam, is they do these types of ads. Your normal traditional search ads over here. And you're asking me, how do I know that they're ads? There should be something over here that says sponsored. But sponsored basically means everything at the top of this page. And basically when you run these ads over here, although they're the same product, to click on this, it would cost you 8 Rand, maybe 12 Rand, sometimes 13 Rand for a click on these types of ads. Not for a sale, just to get a click, a CPC. Over here for the floor lamps, over here, you'd find that these typically cost 30 Rand a click, 25 Rand a click. So almost double the price, right? So here, the ones that are text are probably going to be more expensive than the ones that are your product only ads. We call these shopping ads. but you need to have your e-commerce store set up properly. If you want us to do it for you, contact us below at support and we'll gladly help that out for you. Just go to our contact us page and we'll gladly help you out. All right, so if this is what you're talking about, here is going to be cheap, here is going to be expensive. Now, if we compare a product to a service, right? Let's say, for example, now we looked at lamps, but let's say I am a plumber. Oh, please don't show up. Let's try. Plumber, Cape Town. There we go. So for plumbing in Cape Town, right? These guys are probably paying 40 Rand, 50 Rand per click. For those of you who are wondering what rands is, it's probably $2.5. $2.5. So this is a service, a plumbing service. They are paying a lot more because there's a lot more competition and it's like a personal service. So service-based ads are always going to be, I won't say always, but 90% of the time, 80% of the time are going to be more expensive than product ads, right? The nice thing about product ads is if you get good images and you have a very good e-commerce store and you've got the right testimonials on your e-commerce store, you can make money with Google Ads. With the service business, it's a little bit harder because you have to fight your competition. You have to fight everyone. With a product, people care about the product and they want to know that the store is a trustworthy store. They don't care as much about the competition. So I hope that helps. There's a lot of spam emails going around, guys. Man, plenty. All right, cool. Do we have any more questions? Let me just close this window slightly. Try and fit everything in on my screen. Man, I feel like I'm slowly but surely getting my streaming software game right. So I kind of figured out how to put the chat there, kind of have my little window on my screen. I'm getting there. I'm slowly but surely, I'm getting there. I used to be on StreamYard. I just stopped bothering with StreamYard, but yeah. Any other questions? Go for it. I tell you what I do miss about StreamYard is we used to have this little ticker that goes across the screen that says, let me know what country you're from and also ask me any questions about Google Ads. I miss that little thing, but I'm sure I can figure out a way to get it back. Loving not having to pay a software subscription though, so yeah. I hope you guys don't have any more Google Ads questions because I just closed my Google Ads. But yeah. All right, let's see what we got. By the way, if we're talking about Google Ads and just e-commerce stores, the number one mistake that I see a lot of e-commerce stores make is they sell too many different types of products. So usually when you're doing e-commerce, I recommend that you just do a segment. Do not try and sell every single type of product. Like for example, if you have a store that sells socks and jeans and shirts and funny ties and glow-in-the-dark glasses, don't do that. I would rather have an e-commerce store that only sells socks and make that the best e-commerce store for that particular niche. You're going to have much less competition. You're going to make more money and your cost per click on your ads is going to be amazing because you get to show off all your variations of socks. I would rather have you do that versus having this big store, running ads to it, but because there's not enough traffic on a particular type of product, you're going to end up losing money because you're spread out too thin. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you're spending $100 per day. That's your budget. Would you rather spend $100 per day on one product and all the variations of that one product versus spending $100 per day on 1,000 different products? Each product is probably only going to get less than $1 of marketing spend. So already you can see the problem here. Some products are going to get some traffic, but most products on average are not going to get enough traffic for you to get a conversion. So typically with a shopping ad, shopping ads convert at about 2.18%. So you probably need to get, I'd say 30 or 40 clicks on a shopping ad product before you see that conversion. And so you need a lot of clicks on a particular product. It's not going to all happen at once. All right, so Nazmul, next question over here. Nazmul asks, what makes a strong headline and description in Google Ads? Let's say it's a plumbing service. So the strongest headline that you could have for a plumbing service would be the response time and the amount of reviews that they have. So a lot of plumbing companies, they make this mistake when they say, oh, we do a free call out fee. And they say, we'll come to your property for free. So because they come to your property for free, sorry, Miriam, how does takealot.com make so much, do it with so many products? Yeah. When takealot.com started off, they started off with like a 5 million or 50 million rand advertising budget. So if you have that type of money in your bank, do it. Because takealot.com already said, we're going to have a lot of products. We need a lot of money to push all of our products. So if you have 50 million rand, go crazy. If you don't have 50 million rand, play it small, get good at selling one type of product, and then add more. As you have more money, advertise more, right? So Nazmul, getting back to your question over there, what makes strong headlines and descriptions in Google Ads? Let's say it's a plumbing service. So a lot of plumbing companies do this one mistake where they say, no call out fee, or we'll come to you for free. The problem is when you look at the search results, and if you're new to Google Ads, always search for a service and you'll see what everybody else is saying. And what you want to do is you want to say something differently. Don't say what every company is saying, because when you say what every company is saying, you look samey. And so what a lot of plumbing companies do is they say no call out fee. So what happens is when somebody searches for plumbing company near me, it says no call out fee, no call out fee, no call out fee. But it doesn't show the difference between all of those plumbing companies. So what I would do is I would write a headline that says, work with a plumbing company with over 5,000 5-star reviews on Google. That's like, wow. Okay. When I work with this company, they've got over 5,000 happy customers. Or maybe they just have an average Google review score of 4.5. Write that as a headline. Then the next thing I want you to do is write down that the stuff that makes that plumbing company different. So for example, instead of saying no call out fee, you can write something like, we answer, or we will be at your property in less than 3 hours. A lot of plumbing companies are not willing to commit to that. So if you can make something like that work, saying that we'll be at your property in less than 12 hours or less than 6 hours, it makes you look different. And somebody who's looking at the companies in the search results, they're going to go, wow, these guys are 5-star rated, so their quality is good, and they'll be here in less than 6 hours. I think I'm going to choose this plumbing company. And that's what makes them click on your ads and decide to work with you versus working with everybody else. Miriam, just as a thought experiment, I want to actually ask Google, if it does it, I want to ask it what the marketing budget is for takealot.com. I don't know if they're a publicly traded company, but it just as a thought experiment. Maybe we see. So takealot.com specific marketing budget is not public, but estimates suggest that it's potentially spending 400,000 Rand for Google Ads. And I would argue that they're probably spending 5 million on Google Ads based on what I'm seeing, how many searches they're showing up. So 400,000 Rand per month on Google Ads. And this is just a guess, obviously, but this is a Google-based guess. Let's see. Yeah, Ad Ignite also says over here that takealot.com, this is in 2023, and they've grown since 2023. Yeah, takealot.com is also talking about 400,000 Rand. There we go. This is what I was talking about. The company secured $100 million investment, and this is in 2014. So let's just look at that in terms of South African rands. If you have 100 million USD to ZAR, that's $1.7 billion to start a company. Can you see how your marketing strategy, your advertising strategy is going to be different when your starting budget is this versus most of us? Let me show you what my starting budget was when I started my company. It was probably less than that. Let's do this. 5,000 ZAR to USD. This was my starting budget, $288 that I had when I started my company. And I still had to buy a tablet and I still had to buy a data stick. So I probably had $50 to my name. So I had to start off with 866 Rand. I'm not going to go and try and advertise like takealot.com. I need to advertise based on my budget. And that's basically what I'm trying to convey. But anyway, Nazmul, was that helpful? Did you kind of understand what I said in that? And guys, if you just made it here, thank you so much for joining this live stream. I really appreciate it. What we're going to do is we're going to answer all your Google Ads questions. If you have questions about budget, if you have questions about if you're doing the right thing, if you're wondering if your ads are even working properly, or if you did something wrong, ask them down below. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to ask me anything. I usually charge people who are in my community about $200 per month just to ask me any questions. So you've got me, use me. Ask me anything you need. I've got 8 years of experience and I've worked with over 100 different entrepreneurs to help them get better results with Google Ads. I've also lectured on Google Ads in the University of Economics and Business in Austria. And yeah, so I want to really help you guys. I want to really share knowledge with you guys. And I can't do that if you don't ask me questions. So ask whatever it is that you need to ask. Also, I should let you guys know we've got a banger of a Black Friday special coming up. I want you to sign up below to the early bird list if you haven't already. I'll email you the details of every single offer that we have. But trust me, you're absolutely going to love it. So if you haven't already, sign up to the early bird down below. You also get a free gift when you sign up to our Black Friday early bird. All right. So Nazmul says over here, why Google's always push to go down broad match during creating an ad campaign? That's a good question. Google Ads is going to make a lot more money when you have the wrong ad settings versus the right ad settings. Okay, so a beautiful way to think about this is when you go to, I don't want to say a gambling place, when you're playing soccer or football and you're playing against another team, the opposite team wants you to score own goal because the own goal is going to count for them, right? The opposite team wants you to make a mistake. So the one thing you need to understand, Nazmul, is you and Google have got two different incentives. You're trying to save money and spend as little money on advertising so that you can get as much money in, as much customers in as possible. So you want to pay $1 and you want to make potentially $10,000. What do you think Google wants? Google wants you to spend $10,000. And the one thing that people don't understand is Google doesn't care if you get clients or not. They don't care if you get conversions or not. They don't care if you get add to carts or not. Google cares about how much you're spending every day, because the more you spend, guess what? The better money Google makes, the more revenue Google makes. So instead of telling you to go exact match, which doesn't spend that much money and gives you the exact searches you're looking for, or phrase match, where sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, they tell you to go for broad match, hoping that you don't know what you're doing and you're like, yeah, sure, broad match. And what happens is when you start spending all of that money for 3 months and you realize it's not working, well, guess what? Google's already made a ton of money. And they're doing this to so many people, okay? And this is all my opinion, but I've been doing this for 8 years, so it's pretty, I've seen it more than enough where business owners start off, they spend $5,000, $30,000, and they just lose everything because they had the wrong ad settings. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. If you want to make sure you have the right ad settings, I want you to check out my Google Ads setup cheat sheet. Let's see if I can find my website quickly. I'm going to share this over here. Go to here. Check out my Google Ads setup cheat sheet, right? It's $9. It's $9. But what we do is in this setup cheat sheet is I literally show you how to protect yourself, and I show you how to get all of your campaign settings right so that you don't lose any money with Google and all of their shenanigans. Okay? So make sure you get that done. All right, so Nazmul says, Google wants me to finish my budget quickly so that Google can show other ads in my position. Got it. Because at the end of the day, Google is also a business. Exactly. Google wants to make as much money as possible. You want to spend as little money as possible. Those two things mean you're on two different teams. You're in two completely separate teams. If Google wanted to help the advertiser, if they really wanted to help us, they would start us off with the exact match. They would make sure our location settings are good. They'd only give us keywords that make sense. Their stupid AI generated stuff would actually put together a good AI headline. It does none of that stuff. Google is just trying to get you to spend as much as possible. Do you know that limited by budget recommendation? I've had a client who was spending $13,000 per day, and it still said limited by budget. $13,000 per day, and it still said limited by budget. Why? Because if Google can get you to spend more, they'll get you to spend more, right? So yeah, that's very interesting. And it's a very good question. Thank you so much for that, because we need to just make sure that we're on the same page with Google Ads. All right. Any other questions with Google Ads? Where are we now? We're coming up to 6 o'clock. Okay. I'm going to stick around for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to answer any questions that you might have. Also, like I said, there's links down below to most of the stuff that I've been talking about, so you can just check it down there. But I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Like I said, I'm going to chill around, answer a couple of more questions, and then we'll take it from there. All right. So Miriam says, I use similar web and Google Ads transparency to spy on two companies. One company had 50 Google Ads and had 60K visitors, while the other one had 100 Google Ads and 30K visitors on the online store. Same niche. Okay. All right. So unless you can see in their Google ad accounts telling me you have 50 ads, you can have 50 Google ads on $1 a day, or you can have 50 Google ads on 10 Rand a day, and you can have one big Google ad campaign on R1 million a day. I don't know what to do with that information, but I'm telling you now, this is what I have from you. So yeah. Yeah, or maybe just ask the question in a different way, because I kind of don't understand what you're trying to get at there, Miriam. Nazmul, never hear that much money can be a daily budget. 13,000. Yeah, definitely. When you start getting these big companies, Nazmul, you can easily, if you go and look, I'll show you this. This is really going to blow your mind. So I'm going to share my screen over here. So I'm going to say average Google Ads budget. Hopefully it doesn't kick up with a client response. Let me do this just in case it does. Personal injury lawyer USA. Yeah, I knew it. Okay, so let's just say average Google Ads budget. Lawyer USA. Nope. There we go. I'm going to share my screen over here. I just didn't want to show you my Google Ads stuff, but as you can see here, your average monthly Google Ads budget for a law firm in the USA can range from $1,500 to over $25,000. And this is just for starters. So as you can see, these numbers can quickly ramp up depending on how much they're spending. Insurance, you're also going to see high numbers. Banking, you're also going to see high numbers. But then if you do roofing, plumbing, that type of stuff, $150 a day, $200 a day, it's pretty common. It just depends, and you'll see as you do more and more Google Ads, you'll start realizing how much people are actually spending. But yeah, any other questions before I go, guys? My chai tea is almost finished. That's how I measure my live stream durations now. When the cup is finished, that's how I know I did my job. And hey guys, if you enjoyed this Q&A, like I said, think about signing up for our community. It's pretty cool. We meet every Tuesday. You show me your ads. I'll walk you through what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. It's really fun. Lots of cool business owners there as well. We've got people with law firms. We've got people who are Australian folklore musicians. We've got guys with mattress companies. We've got guys that are photographers. So it's a real cool little community that we've built. I'm actually proud because there was something telling me not to do it, but I'm glad I did it because I think that's what business owners need. We need community. We need to be able to ask each other about Google Ads. We need to be able to share our wins and share our losses. And we need to be able to also see what these marketing agencies are doing. And we need to have that person that we're asking, hey, is this right? Does this look right to you? Do you think my marketing agency is doing a good job? That type of thing. And so the one thing about being a business owner is you just feel alone most of the time. And that's why I built that space, because I really want people to start understanding that they're not alone. There's a whole bunch of people who've been running Google Ads forever, and they probably have the knowledge that you're looking for. All you need to do is just find them, and that's why I built the community. I am out of raisins. No more raisins. Try and keep the peanuts off my lips. All right, I don't see any more questions in the chat. Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys so much. This was fun hanging out. I'm gonna do one more round where I ask for questions. If not, thank you so much for joining, guys. Remember to, like I said, sign up. Links are down below. Yeah, and I had a lot of fun. What you can also do is, if you're coming back and you're watching the replay, you can just comment down below with how much you're planning on spending for Google Ads this Black Friday. Or just let me know what your plans are for Black Friday. I'd really be interested because I want to make content around Black Friday, but I don't want it to be the generic, oh, if you're running Google Ads for Black Friday, do these 5 things. I want real questions. What is your real problem? What are you really trying to figure out for Black Friday? Your promotions and stuff like that, so that I can give you a nice juicy video and not just a surface level video where I just tell you 5 things you need to do. Increase your ad spend, it's gonna cost more, make sure your carts are working. I don't want to do that video. So if you have really good questions, let me know down below and I'll gladly answer that for you. And guys, thank you so much for coming. I don't see anything else being asked in the chat, so I really appreciate you guys. I hope you guys all have a fantastic weekend. Sending you guys much love from South Africa, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.